For my final project in EAC 582, I conducted an interview with a practicing project manager, Laura Dorich, with Bank of America Corporation. In this presentation, I will be reviewing Laura Dorch's background. I will also be discussing the interview process and how I came about choosing Laura to interview. I will review some of the primary issues and challenges as it pertains to project management, as well as some of the takeaways that I took from the interview and concluding thoughts. I found out about Laura through a networking event at my job. I decided to send Laura an email to see if she would be open for an interview, and she graciously agreed. We set the date of March 14th, and we met in Laura's office. The interview took about an hour in total. I had the set guideline of questions that we were to ask Laura, but I decided that I wanted to dig further and find out about some of the tools that were used in project management and how some of the project's success were measured. So those were other questions that I decided to implement during this interview with Laura. Laura did her educational studies at Salem Academy. From there, she actually transitioned over to Bank of America, where she became a collections rep, handling customer issues and complaints. From there, she transitioned to an operations manager, and this actually afforded her the opportunity to work more in mortgage, so she actually transitioned into loss mitigation. She became a SME of all processes that related to mortgage, and it was during this time that the bank needed more individuals who could work in the roles of project management. So this is how Laura actually got her start as a project manager. There was no formal type of training in place for the role, but Laura decided to attend UNCG's continuing education program to obtain her certification in PMP. The first time she took the course, she did fail, but she did not let this deter her, and she went back and she completed 6 months later. From the interview, I learned of some of the primary issues and challenges as it pertains to project management. One of the first issues that Laura spoke of was constant change. Constant change proves to be an issue within the enterprise of Laura's current line of business due to the fact that programs and templates that Laura and team use are constantly evolving and being changed. Another issue was that of communication. Oftentimes, Laura has had issues where the full scope of a program was not communicated to herself or to her teammates, and there was a disconnect and the project did not get completed as requested. Another issue that Laura spoke of was lack of skill. Oftentimes, Laura has gone into projects and she's worked with teammates that are new to the role, and they have not been formally educated in the different systems to work project management. And so the time for Laura to actually complete the project is cut in half because she has to spend a lot of her time going back to train the associate on the different systems. Proposed deadlines happens to be another issue as well, because where the line of business could come in with a date and time that they're looking for the deliverable to be completed, Laura could have that date set in stone and be working toward that date, and then a week later they can come back and say they need it 2 weeks before that originally proposed date. This proves to be some of the major issues within project management in Laura's line of business. From the interview, there were several takeaways that I noted. One of the first things was trust in the team. Prior to the interview, I've always had my own personal issues where I've decided to work or complete a deliverable project on my own because I didn't trust my teammates to actually hold up their end of the bargain. I learned that in order to overcome this, this is where the process of delegating and ensuring that roles have been established. This is what Laura actually said has helped her in many of her processes. Another idea or takeaway that I noted was that of difference of opinion. I learned that it's okay to have a difference of opinion because having a difference of opinion is actually what helps to ensure that the project transitions and goes smoothly. I lastly learned that preparation is always key. One of the things that Laura said was it's important to have a dress rehearsal. Practice makes perfect. So any deliverable that you're going to spearhead or taking on, you want to always make sure that you are preparing ahead of time and knowing what potential risks could happen and how to mitigate those risks. The interview, I actually happen to have several concluding thoughts. One of the first things I noted was my career objective. Before beginning this interview, I had no aspirations of working in the field of project management, but actually after taking this course, working on the different assignments, and after speaking with Laura and gaining more background information, I decided that I actually want to become a project manager, so I'm actually actively working on that as we speak. Another thing that I actually took away as a concluding thought was attention to detail. I learned from Laura that, no detail is minor and that you always have to ensure that, you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's in the scope of project management. I learned that communication is key and vital. In order to complete any deliverable and to ensure that you are knowledgeable and understand what is being asked, you can never have too much communication with the stakeholders and all key players. One of the things that I wanted to share with you was this little quote that I found from Frederick Herron, which says, "Project managers are the most creative pros in the world. We have to figure out everything that could go wrong before it does." This is my interview presentation, and I hope you all like it. Thank you.